Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Tyrauku here, and today we have the first of many to come champion solo videos. Now, today's video is going to be on Venom Mage and specifically Dragon Stage 24. Most of these videos are going to be focused on Stage 20, 24, and 25, but today is going to be Venom Mage on Stage 24. I'm also going to add in some videos for Doom Tower bosses as well, but just click the playlist at the end of this video if you guys want to see all the current ones. Now, Venom Mage is an absolutely amazing champion, but the biggest question I have is male or female? I don't know. It's a lizard. But the thing that I'm wondering is a lot of people on stream say female, but I zoom in and I see two balls. Now, I'm not an anatomy professional, but my years of experience being a male, I would say that Venom Mage is also a male as well. But honestly, that's neither here nor there, because whatever it is, it can solo Dragon Stage 24 so well, so incredibly well. Let's take a look at the skills real quick. So the A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases, all this doesn't really matter, okay? Each hit has a 35% chance of activating up to 2 poisons. Incredible. The A2 is a single target, decreased defense, decreased attack ability. The A3 is an AoE heal reduction, which is absolutely incredible by itself. It's not that great, but paired with the passive, absolutely incredible. And places 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns. So good. The passive ability, enemies under heal reduction inflict 15% less damage. So this makes Venom Mage much easier to gear for an epic. I think she's one of the few, he's one of the few, it's one of the few. Okay, we're gonna stop doing that. Champions able to actually solo Dragon because of the increased survivability that they have. Also, the aura increases ally accuracy in all battles by 45. Absolutely incredible as well. So Venom Mage stat requirement is lower than it would be if they didn't have this passive ability. The books, they're gonna need them. You're gonna need the books because you need this higher debuff and buff chance to place it. So definitely, if you're gonna farm Dragon Stage 24, you're gonna want the books with the champion. Now the artifacts, these are my pieces that I have. I'll go ahead and click on all these pieces for you guys to check it out. Honestly, the individual stats on each piece don't really matter. As long as you can get to the overall stat minimums, then you're perfectly fine. Now, I haven't tested this enough to know, hey, this is the absolute minimum you can run to get 100% consistency on Dragon Stage 24. That is just an absurd amount of testing that I'm not interested in doing, okay? So this is what I got. I've done a few runs that were 91%, so I know, hey, those are not the correct amount of stats needed. And I've done a lot of runs that are much more consistent. I'm gonna show you guys the results in just a second. But look at the stats, 67,000, 3,100 defense, 253 speed. Resistance is very solid. It's gonna at least resist the waves. The bosses, I'm not as worried about resisting because Venom Mage goes fast enough that the debuffs from the dragon actually fall off pretty quickly and they haven't been an issue whatsoever. The accuracy is actually too much. I don't actually need this much accuracy because I have the built-in amount of accuracy. I can actually get away with, what is it, 165, I believe it is, or 155. Either way, as long as you have about 200 accuracy, you should be fine. You'll see the Masteries, I've actually gone for the HP because accuracy is pretty easy to get. And since Venom Mage has a built-in 45 accuracy anyways, you don't really need all that extra accuracy. And the HP extra is actually much more valuable. I got a little bit of extra healing throughout. I've also went with this one, decreases the damage received by this champion by 8% when this champion's hit with a crit. I've noticed that throughout the waves, I do get hit with some crits, and an unfortunate crit can definitely make the run fail. So I've tried to mitigate some of that and went with this mastery. This one right here is actually a very important mastery because it does work with regeneration and immortal sets. Now you do need both of those for my testing, and this does increase the healing by 5%. So it's very nice to have that little extra additional healing. And then I picked up some extra healing throughout, a little bit of damage reduction, and then some turn meter boost when an ally is attacked with a crit. May not actually do anything. Maybe on that first wave it does give a little bit of boost, but this is what seemed to work the best. We have the increased speed from Spirit Haste. We have Oppressor. Now going resist from the Unshakable may work if you can push quite a bit more speed, but I haven't tested that either. So this mastery setup is what I've found to give me the most consistent results. Even having Evil Eye has been a pretty significant boost. Having Lure of Steel increases the HP from my Immortal set, which is very nice as well. And then extending the buff or the debuff duration is nice, especially since Venom Mage is going to be popping all those poisons. And then Arcane Celerity, getting some turn meter boost whenever a debuff cast is removed or expired. So this mastery setup is what's giving me the results that I have. I'm going to go show you guys a Dragon 24 run while also breaking down the stats that I have involved with all this so you guys can get a better idea, especially to see the breaking points, okay? So I've done about way more runs with Venom Mage than I would have ever hoped to do on Dragon Stage 24. I wanted to make sure I got Venom Mage to the appropriate amount of stats to actually make it make sense. Here are the two comparisons. I'll let Venom Mage run in the background while I show you guys this. But this run over here on the left, I'm actually going to move this a little bit off the screen. So there we go. Hopefully you guys can see that now. So if you scroll down here to the bottom, you actually see that 100 runs out of 109 were successful. So that's a 91% success rate. if you're using Venom Mage to farm Dragon Stage 24 to level up your champions, get more experience for your food champions, you don't want to have almost 10 fails per 100 runs. That's not really great, okay? 90% success rate, definitely not bad, but you're going to be wasting resources, okay? These are the stats I had. 68,000 HP, 2,700 defense, 253 speed. The masteries were exactly the same on everything, and the resistance was very, very high. 333. I believe 300 is what you need to actually resist the boss. Now, this other Venom Mage build, scroll down here to the bottom, this was 103 out of 105, so a 98% consistent run rate. So very similar runs and much better run rate over here. 98%, that's definitely worth it. That's just some poor RNG on 3% resist actually coming through your champion, or just small little things like that, right? So 98%, very, very happy with that. And the difference between these two builds is Venom Mage has less HP on the right side, has more defense. The defense was so crucial. This was the breaking point. That 3,100 defense versus a 2,700 defense literally made the whole difference, because we have the same exact speed, we have the same exact masteries, and we actually have less resistance. So taking off some of that resistance to go ahead and get more defense was actually all the worth it. Now, I don't know what the minimum amount of resistance needed to actually do these without getting debuffs applied to you is, but so far this has seemed to work very, very well, very, very consistent. If you wanted to test that, you could definitely drop some resistance and see how it worked for you. Some of these spots look a little bit close, they look a little bit sketchy, but after 100 plus runs, that was the run rate, and this is how it is going so far. So I'm happy to share with you that if you build your Venom Mage like this, you should have no issues whatsoever in having consistent runs. Now, I say that when a decreased defense actually does break through, actually does apply, Spirit Host is nice because she actually heals from that spirit, the spirit, whatever that mastery is that allows me to get some healing from the champions whenever they heal. Spirit Host, I believe, heals from her A1, so Venom Mage gets a little bit of healing whenever she casts that spell, which is very, very nice. So you'll see here 4,200 healing, and then you'll see from his Immortal plus Regeneration set, that's the additional healing there. Now, there's no, this is running in 60 FPS, so it's not the fastest run possible. If I had it to 144 FPS, you can see on RSL Helper over here that the runs that were consistent, the runs that were 98%, were actually an average of 3 minutes and 40 seconds over the 105 runs. That's pretty good speed, right? Now, she's still getting resisted. I don't know why. Still getting debuffs placed through. So obviously, a way I could improve this would be go ahead and bump up the resistance to closer to 300. But the 252 seemed to be resisting enough. Obviously, according to this, seemed to be resisting enough to make it a very consistent run. Now let's go ahead and look at the pieces of gear that we had. This build right here is what I was running. This is the resistance build of 252 resistance. So you can see all my pieces of gear that I have. If you guys want to screenshot this right here, you can literally just screenshot this and know, hey, this is what I need to build my Venom Mage. I'll actually get my face out of the picture. So boom, this is the picture perfect opportunity for you to not have my face in there and get all the stats. But if you want my face, I'll give you a thumbs up and you can go ahead and screenshot this with my face included. But either way, these are the masteries that are being used right now. This is all the information. These are my masteries, Faction Guardians, Empowerment. Obviously, if you don't have your Great Hall to this level, your gear is going to be at a higher level. If you don't have your Faction Guardian filled out, it's going to be at a higher level as well. I don't think my Lizardman is actually fully filled out. I wish it was, but with that friggin' Krisk event, I went ahead and cleared out a lot of my champions. So unfortunately, my Faction Guardians for Lizardman is actually pretty low. And the air condition just cut off in the background, so my voice, hopefully guys, I wasn't talking too loud, but the air condition was pretty loud. So here we go. We're coming up at about 4 minutes, which definitely not a speed run, okay? This is Dragon Stage 24, though. Now, I'm not going to guarantee results on Dragon Stage 20. I do think Venom Mage can do it without a problem. I mean, obviously, 24 is more difficult inherently than Stage 20, but you have the difference of being strong affinity on Stage 24 and neutral on Stage 20. Now, I've done Stage 20 with Venom Mage a few times, and it did work. I did Ice Golem Stage 20 as well, and it did work also, but I don't know the exact consistency rate. So I want to test that before I actually put that out to you guys. And I'll probably test Dragon and Ice Golem together to get a build that works on both those stages on Stage 20. But this specifically is for Stage 24 on Dragon, which if you're looking to level up your champions, looking to get some good gear along the way, I think it's a perfect investment, okay? Now, obviously, Venom Mage does require a pretty high gear threshold, but I think it's lower than some champions possibly. I mean, there's a lot of champions that have built pretty similarly, but because of that heal reduction, giving her less damage inflicted is absolutely incredible. And the aura makes gearing a lot easier. If I could, I would push up the resistance just a little bit, but so far I've been valuing this more. All my pieces are glyphed except for this banner right here, which is chilling at absolutely 0 glyphs whatsoever. But if I got more speed, if I got more HP, just everything on there, if I got it glyphed, it'd be much, much better. Now, the most important stats, guys, defense, HP are so important, but speed you need the speed. If you're going to go lower than this speed, you may very well have a lower consistency rate. Speed is absolutely incredible. That's why I have Oppressor. That's why I have Evil Eye to hopefully reduce some turn meters sometimes. That's why I have Arcane Celerity. That's why I have absolutely anything I can to get more speed. Now, I have tried to switch the defense mastery tree to offense tree to get the Whirlwind of Death, and it actually didn't improve the consistency, and it made Venom Mage a little less tanky. So if you're able to build the stats higher than what I currently have, you may be able to swap over here. But from what I've noticed, it didn't really make that much of a difference, and actually made the run worse than it was with the defense tree. So the defense tree, this helps quite a bit to mitigate those unfortunate crits, especially from the Lurias in the second wave, because those are the most annoying. Those are where you're most likely to die. And the first wave, the only real trouble is when those Spirit Hosts cast the Cleanse and the block debuffs. So those first few turns is when it gets a little bit shaky, but after that, Venom Mage places the heal reduction on everybody and you're good to go. So guys, good luck with building your Venom Mage. Stage 20 is even easier to farm than stage 24. I'll do a video about that hopefully here fairly soon. Let me know, would you rather see all the dungeons, all the everything put into one video, the different stats? I'm thinking it's gonna be more organized and just better. If I do, hey, this is Dragon Stage 24, it's gonna work on stage 20 most likely. And then here is a stage 20 video to do these levels. It's probably gonna be a lower gear threshold, or at least I would hope. I would hope that doing 4 stages lower on the same dungeon would be a lower gear threshold than doing the highest stage of the dungeon. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all very much for watching, and let me know, is Venom Mage a male or female? That is the burning question that I have for you guys. That is the most important question for today's video. Male or female? Let me know down below. Some people say female, some people say male. I'm gonna say the balls. I don't know, guys, but either way, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next video.